Hello, I'm Jarod Johnson, and this is my submission to KPB220 Assessment 1. 2020 has been a hard year for everyone. With coronavirus sweeping the globe, many have suffered hardships that have gone unnoticed to the public. That is the premise following the documentary. This is the closest to how the last weeks of March felt like. Throughout this analysis, I will discuss and contrast the style and content in order to determine the mode of the documentary. This is how the last weeks of March felt like follows a phone conversation between a young Indian man stuck at uni during Corona and his struggling father in New York. Whilst the documentary contains small nods to other modes, it is ultimately filmed using the observational mode. Throughout the documentary, the background phone call is juxtaposed with shots of the young man alone, performing everyday activities at the empty university. Directed by Kunga Kufal, this documentary marks his second piece of work, following his short film, Spaceman. Comparing the two projects uncovers many similarities within Kunga's work. For instance, both pieces heavily tackle the themes of human connection, specifically between father and child. Spaceman holds many further similarities to the last weeks of March that can help determine Kofal's style of filmmaking. Spaceman's implementation of camera work and music choice bear resemblance to that of the last weeks of March, using conventions following the structure of the observational mode. Spaceman opts to forego the music in favor of natural atmospheric sounds provided by the situation at hand. This helps to draw the focus to the central actor, allowing him to provide the emotional resonance to connect with the audience. Similarly, the last weeks of March follows the same path, using background sounds to draw attention to the phone call. This allows the actors to inject the conversation with heart, driving home the central themes and messages of the documentary. Complementing the background noise were specifically chosen shots that drew attention to the central character, whether he be close or being observed from afar. The camera throughout the documentary remains in an observational distance for a majority of the piece, bar a few close-ups, allowing the audience to fully embrace the emotions being displayed by the main actor and his father. Subsequently, the opposing long shots are chosen by Kunga to indirectly display distance between characters, whilst remaining observational. This type of shot is best utilized by Kunga in the final conversation between father and son. As the central character confronts his father about issues at home, the camera is further away, remaining observational. This both displays the distance between father and son, whilst also disconnecting the audience from the central characters, allowing focus for the phone conversation to elicit the desired emotions. This framing would only be achievable through the observational mode, as other modes would provide different takes on the conversation, losing the meaning behind the director's documentary. The way in which the director incorporated the observational mode was calculated, with it to full effect both inject his piece with emotion and message. To reiterate on the stylistic choices made by the director, I believe the observational mode was correctly chosen to convey Kunga's style. Looking at Spaceman, we can see Kunga allows the characters to tell the story through their emotions rather than through exposition. This directly corresponds with the last weeks of March, as the central character is being observed, replying to information provided by the phone calls, delivering genuine emotional reactions instead of bland responses. Simply put, no other mode would accurately convey the emotion Kunga wanted to display without sacrificing his unique directing style. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a lovely day.